up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome to, or welcome back to my channel. And if you are here for my best books video, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Also, anybody that did PayPal, Ko-Fi, Venmo, or Super Chats, thank you so beyond much. Like, I cannot thank you enough. I genuinely thought like maybe 2 or 3 people would do it that know me personally or that are on my Patreon, but y'all really came through and I can't thank you enough for that. Like the appreciation and the love and adoration that y'all have shown for not just the video, but for me and my work that I put into it. It does not go by unnoticed.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
If you're hearing that noise in the background, it's because it's a portable AC, because they, in fact, were not able to fix my AC. That won't make sense right now, but through the video, you will truly begin to understand the journey that we go on with my broken air conditioner and the maintenance man staring at me from outside. Anyway, I got this package and I wanted to open it. That's why I'm saying that you'll understand later, because I don't want to put this at the end of the video. I'll put it at the beginning so that whoever it is can hear my thank yous. Oh my God, it is this is stunning. Oh my God, this is so much prettier in person than I thought it even was gonna be, and I loved the look of it online. The Will of the Many by James Islington. Look at how pretty this is. Also, look how ginormous this is. I am so scared to read this because everyone and their mother loves it, and I feel like that means I'm not gonna like it, which not because I don't want to. I want to love it. This is beautiful. Ooh, cute. Just watched the best of 2024 video, and ma'am, you deserve this. And some sleep. The videos just keep getting better. Thank you for all the work, time, and effort from Kristen D. Aww. Thank you. You packed so much into that. The fact that you said that the videos keep getting better. Thank you. And you said thank you for all the work, time, and effort. Thank you for acknowledging that. For acknowledging that it is really hard because it is. So yes, thank you so much, Kristen. Okay, let's get into the video and you can find out what's going on with my AC and the maintenance worker. Okay, this is also rambly because since I spent a month and a half editing that video, we are gonna have this video be a one-take wonder, okay? Or at least I'm gonna try.
Sir, there's just no reason. Sir, there's just no reason. No. Okay, bye-bye, thank you.
He just loves to rev his engine. For what purpose? I don't know.
You're just driving around an apartment complex. This is not NASCAR.
Anyway, sorry, hi, hello. Now I am on reading sprints with my patrons, which means this cannot be more than 55 minutes long. But dear God, Katie, this better not be 55 minutes long. Katie, you read 5 books in January. You can't have that much to say.
Right.
Yeah, I read 5 books, and that's actually a lot considering how little time I was able to spend reading because I was editing so much. The other thing that's crazy about this month of reading is that I have 2 1-stars and 3 5-stars. What? Middle ground? Never heard of her. Never heard of her. 2, 3, and 4 stars? Couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Don't know them from Adam and Eve, okay? The first one I'll talk about is one that I'm not really gonna describe to you like the summary of. I will do it for the other ones, but I gave it 1 star. I actively hated it and I'm genuinely confused why it has such good ratings and why everybody loves it. And that's Quicksilver by Callie, Hart. Y'all, if you like this book, if you like Quicksilver, I am begging you to skip to the next timestamp. Skip to the next book. Go to the next chapter of this video. Because I did not realize how mean I am about this book in this clip. And I'm not proud of that. So if you like this book, I don't want to hurt your feelings. So please do yourself and me a favor and skip. If you hate the book though, you and I are about to have a really good conversation. But that's probably 0.5% of the population. So all the rest of you, I will see you on the next book. I am not, this is like Fourth Wing, okay? Where I'm genuinely not standing here going, oh, I just didn't like so-and-so, but I get why people like it. This is worse than Fourth Wing, to me. If you love it, this section of the video is not for you, okay? This is for the tiny, little bitty part of the population that hates this book. What do you mean there's no water, but there's whiskey? What do you mean there's no water, but there's chickens? What do you mean there's no water, but there's crops?
You may be able to help solve a mystery.
It doesn't make any sense, and none of it is explained, okay? It's a fae alchemy situation where everybody's like, oh my God, Shadow Daddy for Kingfisher, which I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't mind that name. I think it's actually kind of metal and cool, but he sucks. He sucks. He's rude. He doesn't come across like broody, like in a hot way. It comes across like a teenager way. Like, oh, sir, you're what? Like, what did it say he was? Like 3,000 years old? It's something insane where the main character is 22 or 23 and he's 3,000 years old. What do you have in common with her? What do you have in common with this young woman? Can you answer for those crimes? Can you answer for those crimes? Yeah, I don't like that. There's age gap and then there's that. Okay? Also, this, I will absolutely hold no questions for whether or not this is ACOTAR fanfiction. Because it is, okay? And I'm not saying that there have not been plenty of really good books that have been made based on fan fiction of other books or of movies. Like, basically every single book that Ali Hazelwood does is a fan fiction of Reylo, like Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars. Cool, I like her books. I don't care. Like, get inspired where you need to get inspired. It's very popular, okay? And nobody cares that it's a fan fiction because it is its own thing. This is not its own thing. This is ACOTAR. But I like ACOTAR and I hate this. This guy is Rhysand. Like, he was trapped with some being or person that was essaying him for like 100 years. So was Rhysand. He comes back as like Shadow Daddy. Literally both of them, their powers are shadows. They have like interesting colored eyes. They both have dark hair, are super tall. They're both fae. They're all broody and like misunderstood because when they come back, like their family is all tiptoeing around them and they don't know what to say. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I missed you. And he's like, I literally can't talk to you because I am messed up. Exact same thing happens to Rhysand. Exact same thing. And then a young woman stumbles into their life and accidentally gets connected to him. I'm sorry. Is that the plot of ACOTAR? Y'all, the typos alone in this book, the typos alone are baffling to me. Like, why in the world did this get published? You know it didn't get edited. Here's the thing. This is a clear definition of something not getting edited because instead of the main character saying or thinking in 100 years, it says in a century years. Because clearly the author thought, oh my God, you know, it's going to be like so much more like fantasy and medieval and like so much more Fae world is instead of saying 100, I'm gonna say a century. So she just like Control F 100 and did find and replace with century, and no one fact check, not fact check, nobody even did a cursory glance because it happens so many times. So many times. Okay, I am genuinely standing here asking, why do you like? He calls it her wet folds. I wanted to fling myself into the sun.
Say sorry for your actions.
I hate it. Okay, y'all put me through this, and you put me through editing it, and it's freaking best books video. I hate every second of it. Okay, the next one we'll talk about is Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. I need to go back and annotate this because, oh my God, I've been sleeping on this book. I gave this 5 stars. I could not stop reading it. I could not stop reading it. It is so fun. It is so gripping, thrilling, crazy, like funny. I loved it. This is about a woman named Des who really is desperate to make clothes for this designer who owns this fashion magazine. Basically imagine like Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada, like, or Anna Wintour. Like, she's huge, okay? And you cannot get close to her. But one of her grandsons, Patrick, person named Patrick, our character Des sees in a bar or something and is like, let me use my wiles to get my desires. So she bamboozles this man, plays the distressed, stupid bimbo.
I'm so hot and oh my God, like I'll let you do whatever you want to me. I just want to be your girlfriend.
Because she wants to be invited to his family's house. And he's like,
Oh, we're gonna go and have like our little retreat. Like we do this like every year, our little fun family little getaway.
and she's like,
Oh my god, they live on an island? I've never even like seen an island. Like what is that? What is an island? I thought that was in a fairy tale.
and he's like,
Oh my god, I could show this girl for the first time what an island is. Oh my god, she'll totally suck my if I show her an island. So he's like, oh my god, you should like totally come.
And she's like, oh my god, that's crazy. I would never ever thought you would ever ask.
so she packs up all her slinkiest stuff, and she doesn't like this man. Let's start there. She does not like Patrick, okay? And neither do we. We don't like Patrick. So she goes to this island. Things are strange. There's a bunch of people that do not speak that are all wearing the exact same color and the exact same clothes. And they're like servants. And I'm not saying maids, I mean like servants. And you're not allowed to speak with them. When you get onto this island, your cell phone's taken away. And then they go through your clothes. And if you have anything that's pink, because that's the color they wear, they take it. Because that color's for the servants. No. And then we get some weird ritual kind of things going on. This has the vibes of this. Oh my god. Okay, please tell me that this is somebody coming to fix my air conditioning. It looks like the same guy. Please tell me this is the guy to come fix my air conditioning. I'll let you know. I'm gonna try not to be distracted. Okay, this has the isolated island vibes of And Then There Were None, as well as the kind of like getting picked off one by one. This also has the murderous marriage monopoly of Ready or Not, and it has the very hyper specific and grotesquely depicted gore of Saw. And that's one thing that you should definitely know, is that this will randomly get really disgusting. And I feel like I was constantly surprised. I swear, I cannot stop looking at this guy. He's just standing there on the phone, but I'm like, if he turns around, he's gonna look me in the eyes. This family is literally the family from Ready or Not. Oh, and I forgot to say, it also has the classism and racism of Get Out. And I loved all of those movies. This was really good. It's a really good social horror, and I was so with this main character. And when I tell you the ending of this book, I was cheering. I was cheering. If there was one person in the crowd clapping, it was me. What's the next one we should talk about? Oh, well, it's right here. Oh, sorry. I reread Bunny for the third time. Now, I am doing a reread for my Patreon where once a year or once every other year, we will collectively read Bunny, because that's what my Patreon is based off of. And we will have people that are new or have never read it. And then we can watch like them experience it for the first time and try and see like what they think is going on. And then we'll do a live show and we'll go over it and break it down. And if anybody has questions, we'll go over all of them and explain everything that's happening to the best of our ability and go over our theories and our conspiracies. I am planning on making a video where I do a dedicated analysis of this book, where it's full spoilers, and I'm going to reread it in February physically and go through and underline and tab and annotate all the clues I think there are, all the things that I think mean this, that mean that because she said this in this way, I think that this is this. That's very complicated, but I feel like you kind of get what I'm saying. When I say I'm going to read it physically, that's because I listened to the audiobook for the first time on my third read. Now, I am a famous hater of this audiobook. I hate on this audiobook all the time because when I first read this book, I had the audiobook and the physical book, and I was physically reading it, but I was going to go into a grocery store and I was like, I don't want to stop reading this because I was reading it in the parking lot. I said, okay, let me just put on my headphones and I'll listen to the audiobook while I grocery shop. I put in my headphones, and while I was just getting my bag together, listening to it, I maybe listened to like a minute, turned it off because I said absolutely not, because I heard the voice that the narrator uses for Creepy Doll. No. And I will say, even on this listen, I hate the voice that she uses for Creepy Doll. It doesn't make any sense for who Creepy Doll is to me. But anyway, my patrons were like, you should try the audiobook. Just give it a chance. I want to know if it's actually bad. So I started listening to it, And I got 16 pages in before I went and picked up the physical book and started physically reading it. And when I tell you that I had to put all of this back together because I was physically reading this one on the bottom, I had to put it all back together to force myself not to physically read it. I had to tie my hands, basically. So this time I'm going to physically read it and go through. But when I tell you 5 stars, this is better than I even remember it being. It's better than I even remember feeling it was when I read it the first or second time. This is one of the best books ever written. It is my favorite book of all time. I am obsessed with this book. I cried at the end like I always do. And I'm definitely getting a tattoo of this book. I'm definitely, literally when I cried at this for the 3rd time, I was like, yeah, I have to. And it's the quote where Samantha says, "Ugh, but we weren't listening. We were already running away again, me and my imagination." I love that. Listen, I'm sure you know what this is about, but I bet you don't actually know what it's about, because this is a mind. Know that if you're going to read this, you're going to go in and you're going to be confused because you're not really sure, like, what's real, what's not real, like, is this character reliable? Is this person telling the truth? Because in this, we do have an unreliable narrator. So know that going in, and know that this is a book that demands to be read more than once, or at the very least, to have a discussion with other people about, or to go on Reddit and look at what other people are saying, asking questions and trying to figure it out, because this book demands that. And not everything, well, nothing is really straight up. There are a lot of clues, and I have a lot of theories that, to me, I think are facts. You know, they're not facts. I mean, Mona Awad could tell me if they're facts, but I have a lot of theories that I think are correct, and I will go into them in a video. If you have any questions, he's staring at me. He's literally looking at me in the eyes. This just got really awkward. This just got really awkward. I can't. Now that we made eye contact, this is fucking weird. Okay, I think he's gonna come into my apartment. Okay. No. Okay, Katie, we're going. If you have any questions that you want to know about this, that you want me to address in the video, please put them in the comments down below. Before you put what you want to say, put some bunny emojis so that I kind of easily distinguish the comments that I need to like search out to see, to answer in this video, because I will answer anything. If there's something that you want me, like a theory that you think or whatever, I will go over it. I have a lot of things to say, but I know that there's things that I'm going to miss. Are you coming to my apartment? He disappeared. I'm only 3 books down. Okay, that's 5 stars. 5 stars shooting into the sun, favorite of all time. I'm obsessed, and if you don't like it, you're dumb. I'm just kidding. If you don't like it, your mom's a hoe. That I'm serious about. The next thing I'm going to talk about is, do you see me just living in fear? Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is my other 1 star, and it's another one that everyone is obsessed with. And I do not understand. I so genuinely do not understand. And that's The Favorites by Layne Fargo. What? Here's one thing about me, I'll say, to the detriment that I did to this book. I've read They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. That is a thriller, and it's 5 stars. It's on my shelf, and I'm obsessed with it. So when I heard that she was coming out with a second book, I didn't look into what it was about, really. I just got it. And then I heard a little bit where it was like, it's about ice skating, and it gets like the world saw them as a scandal and they saw each other as an obsession. And I was like, okay, we're going to do some Tanya Harding. It's going to get wild. And it was like, oh, everything changed that Olympics night. And I was like, somebody's going to die. Somebody's going to take a ice skating, like razor blade to the throat. Like, we're going to get crazy. This is not a thriller. This is not a thriller. It's not a mystery. It's a historical romance. If I had known that going in, I might be telling a 2-star story right now. But I'm not. I'm telling a 1-star story. So just know that because of my ignorance, I should probably give this 2 stars. But I found it incredibly boring. Incredibly boring. And it just went on and on and on. I was like, when is this book going to end? When is something going to happen that And then when everything happens, you're like, that was way too fast. What are we doing? The main character is very much the main character of her own life. That's for sure. She doesn't care about anything or anyone as much as ice skating or the Olympics. And, you know, you have that whole like, oh, like, you know, she's gonna find out that like love is what really matters.
Oh, gross.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Like, we've done that to death. I don't want it. The fact that she goes by Katerina, but her brother calls her Katie, I was like, oh, your name isn't actually Katerina. I think and a newspaper, I think, calls her Catherine at one point. I was like, oh, you're going by Katerina to seem more ethnically ambiguous, which all of that would be fine. Again, because I thought we were going to Tanya Harding. That's what I thought we were going to do. I thought we were going to bust kneecaps, okay? Not just listen to a girl's inner monologue about how much she wants to go to the Olympics. And this is coming from somebody who adored Carrie Soto. Loved it. 4.5 stars. That was great. Was there for her in this Olympics and tennis journey. This, no. No. And the two side characters, Bella and Garrett, the twins, that storyline arc made no sense. No sense. It was the most forced conclusion, happy ending, like characters finding themselves that I've ever seen. Because we start out with these twins being ruthless, okay? And, well, Bella, I mean, she is ruthless. Like literally like, I will kill you to win. We go from that to all of a sudden now, Kiki, we're best friends. Let's literally braid each other, literally sleep in the same bed and braid each other's hair with the main character. Overnight. And I do mean overnight. It's one conversation on a patio at a party. And then they're best friends and they live together. What? Okay, I'm going to have a little timestamp here because I want to talk about spoilers for this book. Just a few. Okay? I'll give you a second. You can mute me. You can skip forward. You can do what you need to do. Have you run across the room yet? You have? Okay, perfect. Here we go. Garrett, the boy twin, is gay, and nobody knows it. When I tell you, he tells the main character, and it's a secret between them. Okay, the guy's back, but he's just standing. I'm genuinely confused. I wonder if he's waiting for me to stop. So Garrett
is running away, so you're not going to fix my reputation. All of this for nothing. I'm actively sweating, and you're driving away. You came here to stare at me and make me uncomfortable in my own home, and now you're just going to drive away. Like the small man you are. I'm just kidding, you're very nice.
Okay, so Garrett, sweating. Garrett is at a party with all these other Olympic athletes, and they kind of have like a little tiff, okay? And she publicly outs him as being gay, which, by the way, this was like 2010, I think, was when this was going on. I'm trying to remember. Obviously, he doesn't want to be outed because one, part of the allure of figure skating is romanticizing the man and woman. And if he gets a new partner and it's not a sister, okay, the guy is back. The guy just came back. He came back. Y'all are on a journey with me today. I want to tell you that. I'm getting worried. Okay, are you coming in or not? My dude, my man, my brother in Christ. Okay, Jesus. She outs him at this party. This is taking so long. She outs him at this party and she immediately is like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Okay. They separate. She goes, doesn't stay to apologize. She leaves. Leaves for maybe 15 minutes. Okay? I'm actually probably pushing it at 15 minutes. Comes back and he's making out with this like super hot, like foreign swimmer, I think is what they said, on the couch. And she's like, oh, well, I guess he's gonna have a good night after all. I'm sorry. Did you just say you're welcome? This character literally acts like she did something for him. Like she positively affected his life and he would never have been able, had the courage to do it for himself. So like, thank God this white girl came along to fix him. No, That's disgusting. I don't like that. She never apologizes. He never brings it up again. The act of like him being outed is never brought up again, not just in like magazines or news, but conversationally with other teammates, with anything. Never brought up again. The mom doesn't say anything when he was really worried about telling the mom. Like, what was the point? Was there a point? I don't think so. The other spoilers I have is Bella. You're telling me that overnight, basically, she decides, after spending her entire life cutting people's throats to get to the Olympics, all of a sudden, she doesn't really care about that anymore. And she's actually would rather be a teacher. And now all of a sudden she's super nice and like, I'm gonna whip you into shape. But with the most annoying, girly-ish, like, voice that you've ever heard, very childlike. No. And then her being pregnant with Heath's baby? What? Why? Why include that? I'm asking you, why? Because Layne Fargo didn't want to have our main character, Katie, didn't want her to have a baby because she was like, I'm gonna stand on this business that women don't have to have kids. And she's like, I'm not gonna have Katerina change her mind. Like, she's not gonna have kids, which we never even spend time with Katerina really thinking about that. She thinks like, when she finds out that Bella's pregnant, she's like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to do that. So instead of her having Heath's baby, she just has the best friend have the baby. So that they can end up a family. They can end up a secular unit of the nuclear family. They can end up that way, just without having that character have to do it. What? No. Heath's backstory of how he got the scars was so stupid. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, oh my God, he went to Russia. And she's like, oh my God, you told them my weaknesses. And that's like the biggest betrayal in the world. And she leaves off the face of the earth and they don't talk to each other for years. Because he trained with the enemy. Don't get me wrong. I'd be salty, but I wouldn't be like, F you and your friends and your family and the horse you rode in on. I think that's really stupid. I think our main character is kind of stupid, to be honest. She's just petty in an illogical way. Okay, spoilers over. The only last thing I wanted to say about this is I do agree with Layne Fargo, who is a Swiftie, by the way. She mentions Taylor so many times in this book. But when she says that people sleep on The Last Time by Taylor Swift featuring Gary Lightbody, and that it's actually one of the most underrated and best songs, I was like, I agree. And I was like, this is when I knew she's actually a Swiftie. She actually is, and I love that. Okay, anyway, we have one more book to talk about, and that is one that I don't have yet, but I am planning on getting a physical copy of, and that is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by McLeod Chapman. Might not be pronouncing the middle name correctly. This is the other social horror, and this one, as with Guillotine, was 5 stars. Both of these, especially Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, I feel like is going to be my best books of the year. I loved this audiobook so much. Oh my God. This is going to be very polarizing for people because it's about politics, which are polarizing, obviously. So there are going to be a lot of people that hate this book. And there are going to be a lot of people that love this book. The hate is going to be very strong for this book because it is leaning against conservative politics. Okay. So in this book, our main character has been slowly losing his sweet Southern family to, why are you looking me in the eye? This is a random man. You're not even an employee of this apartment complex. Okay, Katie, no. If we have to do this closed-eyed, we're going to do it. Okay, he's been losing them to the far-right conservative beliefs. And he's trying to get them to at least be like neutral on some things, and it's just not happening. And he's like slowly not able to connect with them anymore. And then one day his mom starts calling and telling him the great reawakening is coming and he needs to be prepared. And he's like, okay, this is just one of her conspiracies. No. No, it's not. It's not. So basically, you have this news channel, Facts, Okay? That is brainwashing people. And the Great Awakening, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Let's just say that. Yeah, bloodbath meaning this is extreme horror. A lot of reviews I saw that were like 1 star were people saying, I DNF'd it. I didn't know this was going to be this disgusting. This book is gross. It's not all extreme horror, but the parts that are extreme horror, Jesus Christ, especially, and I totally understand. There was a Goodreads review that was like, I don't want to read about so-and-so. I don't care if they're brainwashed. I was like, yeah, I didn't want to read that either. And it was disgusting to me. And when I reread it, I will not be listening or physically reading to that part. That is so gross. But it is an extreme horror thing. And that, I'm not going to tell you like, you know, how it happens or anything like that. But like sexually explicit extreme horror, no. I'm good. I don't want to read that. I'm good. I don't hate that it exists because, you know, that's just part of the genre. It's just not my thing. So next time I'll just kind of skip over it. But I think there's like 2 different times where that happens, where it's like something very sexually explicit with familial connections that I think is disgusting. But it's a lot of body horror, a lot of visceral horror. So if you do not want to read that, this is not for you. But the biggest thing it is a social horror, because the main character is trying so hard to save as many of his family members as he can. And we as the reader are watching him see the news, see the streets, like see suburban cities, see meccas, like Brooklyn or Atlanta, and then like little suburbs completely change and slowly be chipped away at until they are completely segregated against each other. And the violence and hate and anger that spews from that is just so real. It's so real. It's so realistic that it's actually scary, because yeah, this is magical surrealism with the brainwashing and stuff like that. But the other things that they're talking about are very real. And the way that he depicted how slowly he loses his mom to this was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And so many people deal with this every single day and have been dealing with it every single day for, I was going to say years, for their entire life. He's back again. Okay, I have to show you that he's real so you don't think that I'm lying. Oh, he's real. Okay, you see him. That's him. Hopefully I didn't mess up the, Can you still see me? Sorry, he's a real person. Very nice guy. Just incredibly awkward. Why are you bringing a stool? Oh, you're coming in? Yes, he's okay. He just looked at me in the eyes again. Okay, I need to hurry up. Okay, I really, really loved it. If you are a conservative, you're gonna hate it. It's really mean to you. He's coming up the stairs. I've gotta go. Hello.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You look beautiful.
Aw, thank you. Oh my God, he left for just a second. So hi, hello. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you all have an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And hopefully he can fix my air conditioner.